but I'm an expert in behavioral economics. So basically, what I want to tell you about is just some things I've learned from behavioral economics that you could apply in your entrepreneurship studies or in your own entrepreneurship and starting a business or developing a business. Yep, I prepared 6 points. I have 20 minutes altogether. I already talked for a while. Yeah, so just some quick facts for your coffee break. So what can you learn from behavioral economics and apply in your entrepreneurship research and in your own entrepreneurship? There's 6 things. 4 things are about yourself, and 2 last things are about your interaction with other people. So 4 are individual preferences, and other ones are social preferences. I will talk about. So first, what I want to talk about is risk aversion. We know that in economics and standard economics or standard business studies, risk aversion is not really existing. So we assume that agents in economics are risk neutral. So they are very good in estimating risk. They don't really have any big preferences, you know. But what we know from research is that people are risk averse on average, and women are even more risk averse than men. So what it means is that we are actually scared of risks. We are scared of something, of some big prizes that come, but they come not for certain. So we are scared of those situations where we could win something, but not certainly, and we compare them to situations where there is some certain win. And of course, when I talk about entrepreneurship, it's a big deal, right? Because if we are risk averse and we are scared of risk, we will never be entrepreneurs. We will never start anything that's risky. We will never start a business. We will never start a startup. So we have to take that into account. We have to know that we are scared of risks and that humans have this preference for being risk averse, and we have this preference for picking safe lotteries, and this fear sometimes to bear. So just take it into account and know that you're not alone, that there are many people who are just scared of risks, and you are one of them, and maybe just that one time pick that risk. Number 2, overconfidence. That's kind of opposite. So we are kind of risk averse, but also we kind of have very biased understanding about ourselves and about our ideas. So people on average are overconfident. One example that I like and that can show you exactly what I mean is this. So when you ask, this is an old experiment in psychology and behavioral economics too, from 1980s, when you ask a person, are you on average like a better driver? Like, are you a better driver than the average, or are you like average or under average? So what do you think? Are you like a better driver than the average? What do you think? So in those studies, what the answer mostly is that people are very overconfident. People say, I'm better than the average. Of course I'm better than the average. But then you have to think, if everybody's saying I'm better than the average, then where's the average? So let's say everybody's like top 10, then where are the bottom 90%? So this is the thing. So people just overestimate themselves. You're overconfident. And men are even more so than women. So men are even more believing in themselves than they should be than women. So, okay, those points are a bit contradicting. So first was like people are risk averse, people are scared of risk. Second is that people think too good about themselves. So you have to weigh those. You have to weigh that the thing that we are too scared of risks that come from outside, like we are scared from exogenous risks, we are scared from what's happening outside. But and number 2 is that what's inside, we are a bit too optimistic about it. So we are a bit too scared about what's outside, but when it comes to us, we are a bit too optimistic and we are a bit too overconfident. A sad fact from behavioral economics is that actually people who are confident in a good extent are people who are depressed. So when you ask depressed people how good you are at this and that, how good are you solving these tasks, actually mostly on the depressed people score on the right level and others overestimate themselves. So when starting a business or just starting entrepreneurship, you should think about this. Number 3, present bias. Also, when starting a business or just think about ideas, creating something new, not necessarily a business, just starting something new, starting a new phase of your life or whatever, we put too much weight on presence. And this is bad when we start something new, because in the presence, we need to invest into your future, right? So if I want to build up a business, now I will have to work a lot, I will have to invest a lot, and only like in years it will pay off, or maybe months. But all the effort is coming inside now. So I have to put all the effort now, and the benefits I will get in the future. And what happens is that people weight this presence much more than the future. People think that today is much more worth than the future. So the cost that we have today, people weight it much more than the future benefits. And we have to take into account, we have to know that this is just like a human bias, that we are all biased. We have this present bias, that we put too much weight on today and too little in the future. And when starting something new, we have to think about it. So if you're like feeling, no, I cannot do this because it's so much work, it's so much work and so much work, you have to think, okay, but in the future, how much benefit will I get? And is this benefit really not that high? Probably the benefit is very high and the cost is pretty low. It's just the difference is that the cost is today and the benefit is in the future. And so you're weighting this cost more than you should. That's number 3. Number 4, self-control. We have big self-control issues. Humans really have issues with self-control. Think about yourself. Think about how many times you wanted to do something, but you procrastinated. How many times you said, I will not eat this cake, but you ate this cake. How many times you said, I don't know, whether you're a smoker, but let's say maybe you smoked and you were like, no, I will not smoke ever again. But just the thing is that we have such self-control issues. So we cannot control everything. We have some temptations, and it's hard for us to resist temptation. So like if you come to a restaurant and you open up a menu and you see there's a salad, like a nice seasoned salad with whatever, with some granola or whatever, with some very like healthy stuff on it. And then later in the menu you see, oh, there's a steak with fries. Like if you're not vegetarian, assuming you're not vegetarian, then of course the steak is more tempting. It's like it's or the fries, it's carbs, it's fat. It's like what our body likes, what our body gets addicted to. So we have these self-control issues, and why I'm talking about it now is that we need to take into account when we're working on something, we're working on a task. We need to know that actually that our inner like temptation, our inner something will tell us, no, don't do it now, no, do it next time. Oh wow, my phone is here, maybe I will just check my Facebook for a bit. Oh look, there's like Netflix notification, and it says like binge watch this new TV series, like episode 3 or whatever, season 3 of the TV series you watch is out. And all these things kind of take our control away, like we kind of tempt, okay, I could do what I'm working on later, I could do this and this later. So think about the self-control issues. Of course you're aware of them, but again, it's important in entrepreneurship. Think about it, just try to concentrate on your goals, on the task, and also know that you're not the only one who's tempted by stuff. Just concentrate on the things. So those are about yourself. And now 2 other points are about other people. Your interaction with other people, what's important in entrepreneurship. So you need to think about reciprocity. What's reciprocity? Reciprocity is tit for tat, tooth for tooth, eye for eye. So basically that people like to reciprocate what you're doing. People give you back or they hurt you back. So what we see in experiments in behavioral economics is so-called gift exchange. So if I send you something, like for example, an experiment, if I send you some money, I show you a kind, gift. I show you a kind behavior, and then many people reciprocate. Many people are like, okay, you gave me something, I will give something back to you because you were nice to me. Like kids, or like even like in relationships, like you did something nice to me, and I will do something nice for you. But what we also learn in those experiments is that this positive reciprocity, giving back when somebody gave something to you, is actually weaker than negative reciprocity. Negative reciprocity means like, I will hurt you if you hurt me. So if you were mean to me, if you didn't do something for me that I asked you for, I will remember. And people remember this better than the good things. So people are better in, of course, I mean, this is like basic, human understanding 101, but also this is what behavioral economics shows, is that people really remember bad stuff and people really reciprocate negative stuff more. So if you don't give something to me, I will not give it to you I will not give something to you, but like, like 5 times. So be mean to me 1 time, I will be mean to you 5 times. And this is important also to know when developing any new ideas or in entrepreneurship, that tit for tat is there, tooth for tooth is there, and you need to take into account that people don't forget easily, and that people reciprocate. So be nice. Maybe you don't want to be nice. Maybe actually your inner self is saying don't be nice, but think about the benefit of being nice. And the last one is fairness. What people also care about is fairness. People don't like when other people have more than them, or they also don't like when they have more than others. So what research in economics, behavioral economics shows is that when people distribute money in experiments, they don't like having much more than others. For example, let's say we have a pie, like of 10 euros, and now I have it in my hands, and I can distribute something to some anonymous player in the laboratory. What happens is that people give. People like giving something to this other person because they don't want to have too much. This is called compassion. People are compassionate creatures, compassionate animals. Let's call it like the real names. We are animals. We are. So we are compassionate. But also what we are envious. So we also don't like a lot when other people have more than us. So there are these two things in the fairness equation. So we are compassionate, but we are also envious. And you have to think about this in your everyday life, like see what you have, see what you give. So here maybe like CSR would come into account, so corporate social responsibility, that you also have to give back to the community, so that you cannot keep everything for yourself because people are watching, not only because you want to be nice and to give something away, but no, people are also watching and people care about fairness. And if you will not follow on CSR, if you not will do corporate social responsibility stuff in your business, in your whatever you have, people will see and people will feel bad. They will feel envious because you have more. So sharing is a good thing. I also have some research on that, on corporate social responsibility, which shows that actually when companies give, they get more back. So from some laboratory experiments and also from some observational data, we see that. And this is my very short talk for your coffee. I recommend to read those papers. I mean, you can email me. You see my name in the program, Agne Kajackaite. My email is agne.kajackaite@wzw.eu. So if you have questions about these papers I talked about, email me or like check my Google sites or my webpage at my company, at my research center, and you will see links to some of these things, and we can have a chat, or not really a chat, we can email, and you can check out those things. And also a little advertisement, I'm also working on a book about behavioral economics of gender, actually, so about all these little things, but like about actually all of those properties I just talked about, these preferences related to gender. It will be out next year. You can check it out.